Right now, residents across the North and South Shores are cleaning up the damage from Tropical Storm Arthur. A home in Aendale was seemingly ripped to shreds. A confirmed tornado touched down on LSUNO's campus, and in Metairie, a train off of Airline Drive derailed. Streets flooded on the North Shore, where people are seeing yet another round of rain right now. We do have crews on the North Shore, the South Shore, and the Bayou parishes who will bring us the very latest in just a few moments. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Katie Moore. It has been a wild morning around here, and a flood watch is still in effect in our area as some parts prepare for yet another round of rain from what is now post-tropical storm Arthur. So let's get over to meteorologist Alexa Trishler for the very latest on what's happening out there right now. Even more rain, Alexa?
That's right. We're still not done with all of the heavy rain across South Mississippi. Picayune especially still under a flash flood emergency. Luckily, the rain has subsided and really lessened in Picayune, but we're going to have standing water and still ongoing flooding for Picayune. The flooding is the worst of the worst across our Mississippi counties. Coastal Mississippi has some serious flooding. We still have a severe thunderstorm in Hancock County into Harrison County, a whole bunch of lightning, over 1,000 strikes of lightning with this giant thunderstorm. Intense heavy rain and stronger wind gusts up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. Also, Slidell still has some very heavy soaking rain right now, contributing to the ongoing flooding across Slidell into St. Tammany Parish. Also, we have some showers that are setting up over the city of New Orleans. It's more isolated rain on the South Shore and in the metro area, but we still have some heavy downpours from City Park to the French Quarter. Also, some spotty showers in Jefferson Parish. Heavy rain setting up down the bayou, really over our marshy areas, but this is going to be pushing to the east-northeast. Some heavy rain on the West Bank in a few spots. Heavy soaking showers on the North Shore in Covington. So we have some downpours in St. Tammany Parish, Mandeville as well. A little bit of rain moving into Lake Maurepas and southern Tangipahoa Parish. We have seen huge amounts of rain across South Mississippi, especially maybe up to 10 to 13 inches. This is rainfall estimated from the radar over the last 24 hours. So up to 13 inches of rain for parts of Pearl River and Hancock counties. St. Tammany Parish probably has seen up to 8 to 10 inches of rain, at least parts of the parish. And then also on the South Shore, we've seen anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain in the river parishes and maybe even 6 to 8 inches in parts of the river and bayou parishes over the last 24 hours. Again, these are radar estimated totals, but still the totals are insane, and we've had extreme flooding across parts of the area, particularly across St. Tammany Parish and into South Mississippi. So we have extensive damage across the area. The National Weather Service is going to survey that damage when it's safe later today and tomorrow. We're going to have updates on the wind damage and the likely tornadoes that touch down. Based on the surveys, we'll get the ratings of the tornadoes and things like that. And we're going to continue to watch for heavy rain, and also our rivers are going to continue to rise on the North Shore and in Mississippi. We'll talk more about everything you need to know and what you can expect the next several days in your full forecast.
All right, but the threat right now is still not over, so that's great information. Thanks so much, Alexa. The damage, as she just mentioned, is extensive in many parts of the metro area. One of them is in Aendale. We want to get over to Mike McDaniel. He's joining us live now from Aendale with some severe damage there. Mike, I know I saw a trailer ripped off its foundation there.
Yeah, hey there. This is some of the most extensive damage that we have seen. That trailer that you mentioned has just almost like it exploded. I'll kind of explain to you what you're seeing in just a moment. If you weren't with us a little bit earlier during the day, this debris that you see right here, that used to be that trailer that you were talking about. So the trailer, it was over here to my left. There's some cinder blocks out over here. That's where that trailer was. But when the storm came in, the winds, whether it was a tornado or straight line winds, parish leaders have not confirmed just at this point, and they were hesitant to do that just a little bit earlier. But it pushed that trailer into this second trailer. That's why you see all that debris kind of wrapped around it. This trailer then fell off of its bricks. There was a woman inside at the time. She was trapped beneath the sofa. She had to be rescued. Thankfully, she was taken to the hospital. She is okay. She has some injuries to her legs. The gentleman who lives in that first trailer, he was also taken to the hospital. He is expected to be okay as well. Then you have the third trailer. All this debris just kind of pushed down a little bit, damaging other homes along the way. We did speak to the gentleman in this home as well. His name is Dwayne White. He told me, thank God I'm alive. You'll hear from him in just a moment. But you see the wheels, the metal chassis right there with the wheels on it, that was that initial trailer that's over here to my left that got blown into all of these other houses. So there was a gas leak out here a little bit earlier. That has since been cleared. Some folks had to be evacuated. They have since started returning to their properties, kind of looking at the damage. This is kind of all we see right now when it comes to the damage. There is another, like a home or trailer on the other side of the street that also had a little bit of damage as well. They had some power lines down on the streets. Crews have been out here working. Utility crews have been out here working, getting that all cleared up. They're still over on the other side. You can see some of the bucket trucks dealing with the power lines out there, and another resident down below kind of picking up some of the pieces. But the good news here, we haven't heard of any major or catastrophic injuries or major injuries to people. The 2 injuries that we have been reported on here are said to be okay. We do know that there was some another building that was damaged over in Metairie. The parish president told us that a little bit earlier. But when it comes to the gentleman who lives in this trailer, he said he's been here for more than 20 years. And he's had some storms move through here before, but never nothing like this. Take a listen to what he had to say a little bit earlier. You know, we're certainly thankful that all of you are okay, considering the circumstances. And when you look at your home and the debris scattered about, we know this could have been much worse out here.
It could have been even worse, because I thought I was flipping over because the trailer went backwards, like or sideways. That's how I hit the bathroom wall. Because it blew me. Because all my window shutters out in the front. So I was standing up. So the wind just came in and in the water. So could always get another trailer. Can never get another Dwayne.
He is absolutely right. You can never get another Dwayne. So what he was saying there is the trailer almost lifted up a little bit, and as it did, it kind of shot him back to the bathroom that he was in. So he fell, but he heard the woman screaming next door, so he tried to get up and help as well. I asked Mr. Dwayne, I said, well, what are you going to do tonight? What's happening? Because he can't live in his house. He said the Red Cross has already been in contact with him. They're going to be out here helping him. He's going to go to a hotel not too far from here, stay there maybe a day or two, just to kind of figure out the next steps. But he said he is going to remain in the best spirits he possibly can, considering the damage behind me. Live in Aendale, Mike McDaniel, WWL Louisiana. Guys.
That is the most profound thing that I've heard so far today. It really is true. You can't replace Wayne or the people out there. So thanks so much, Mike. It's nothing short of a miracle that no one was hurt in that situation, or at least severely. We appreciate your reporting this morning. Now we want to move back to the North Shore. We're seeing damage from a possible tornado. Check this out. This is in Eden Isles in Slidell. Lots of debris and things around all of these areas. You can see there was the Oak Harbor Marina there, and you know that shopping center that's right around that section of Slidell as you just get off of the Lake Pontchartrain twin spans. You can see just walls ripped off of businesses there in Slidell. Possible tornado again may have ripped through that area. The National Weather Service, of course, hasn't confirmed any of these things yet. But either way, there's significant damage, whether it was a tornado or not. It's really irrelevant. What we're dealing with right now is, you know, picking up the pieces from what was just an incredible storm. This whole area is one that Meg Ferris has been checking out for us, and she's joining us live now with what we can find out there. So, Meg, what are you seeing there?
Well, Katie, just as you said, people have been picking up the pieces all morning long here in Eden Isles. But let me just show you right now, nobody's outside because just as our meteorologists have been saying, it keeps coming in waves here in Eden Isle. It will be a little bit calm, and then it is torrential downpour, lightning popping, and high winds. So it's not just rainy. It is definitely tropical storm-like weather that's coming in kind of in waves or bands. Let me show you, we're underneath a house here in Eden Isles, underneath the porch rather, and you can just see this is all over the place. This is a piece of this homeowner's roof that's just literally been peeled back, sliced back, and is just hanging off of the roof. All of the layers, even the under part that's supposed to protect the house from water, and a bunch of the houses we've been in have buckets all over, water leaking in. One homeowner had the air conditioning uptake area inside just with, you know, a good half a foot of water inside, didn't know if they should turn it on or off. But what I wanted to do is introduce y'all again to a veteran, a couple in their 80s who are now faced with having to start over. Take a listen to our conversation.
We got this house up for sale. The for sale sign's gone, a wind blew it. We go in the act of sale Monday, we bought a house in Ponchatoula. But this house, I can't sell it the way it is. And I'm disabled, and I need help cleaning up. I can't do it. I'm trying to do it. But this is worse than Katrina was.
How old are you now?
I'm 83. I'll be 84 in November. She's 81.
And you're a veteran.
100% disabled veteran.
And tell me, what did you hear in the morning when the tornado came through?
I was laying in bed, and I kept hearing I saw these flashes, and I kept hearing these weird noises. And all of a sudden, bam, the window came. We were in bed. It came on top of us, the glass and all. And we got up, go out, and he slips in the hallway, and the door falls on him. This is a nightmare. It really is. Mm-hmm. And stuff you can't replace, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a hole in the roof, too?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got leaks all over the house. I got buckets all over the place.
Now, that was Robert and Betty St. John, and I've asked their daughter to please set up a GoFundMe page so that I can pass it on to you later today and on our WWLTV.com, on our website. Already some of you have called. Vietnam veteran having to start over and crying to you just really rips at your soul, Katie. But there are a bunch of stories like that. There's a man who shrimps for a living. His boat has damage. So a lot of those stories speckled out here and there in the Eden Isles area. So we'll be bringing you more of those stories for the rest of the day and into the evening newscasts. Reporting live from Eden Isles, Meg Farris, WWL Louisiana.
Oh, Meg, you know, just this reporting that you're doing with that couple is hopefully going to get them some help. The disabled veterans organizations out there, I'm hoping, will step up after seeing your reports. So that's really important stuff and just tragic. Not how anyone wants to spend their golden years. Thanks so much, Meg. We now know just how many people in New Orleans were without power this morning. In just the last 2 hours, the city of New Orleans said 14,000 Entergy customers were without power as of 8:45 this morning. And check it out. This is what Entergy's outage map currently looks like. You can see parts like Jefferson, Kenner, and Lake Vista in New Orleans are still without power, as well as Algiers and Venetian Isles. And down the bayou, parts of Houma and Montague are also in the dark right now. So we want to get in touch with Entergy's Vice President of Customer Service, Nika Scott. She's joining us by phone. Thanks so much for being with us.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what does the organization look like now? Where do you all go first? I know this has been, a constant situation this morning. I'm sure once conditions improved enough for your crews to get out there.
Yeah, we did. We were able to get out, at first light this morning, did see lots of damage, in certain, parts of our service area, looking like tornadic activity, which are some of those areas that are still out because of the damages there. Lots of flooding, so that kind of prevented us from maybe being able to go into certain regions. But as of right now, I think for Energy Louisiana, we probably have about 15,000 customers still out across the state. And Energy New Orleans, I believe the last time I checked with Energy New Orleans, it was about 2,000 still out, but that number is fluctuating as they have to bring people down and bring them back up to get power fully restored.
Yeah, that's an improvement for sure. You all are dealing with power outages up in North Louisiana as well?
There may be some outages up in North Louisiana coming through just with this last remnants of this weather, but the majority of our outages are here in the south that came through with the remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur. And what do you expect in terms of restoration completion? Is there a timeline on that yet? There is, depending on where you are. As of right now, we do have specific information for Entergy New Orleans customers. Areas of the Venetian Isle area should be restored by 2 p.m., New Orleans East by 4 p.m., and the rest of New Orleans by 6 p.m. For the Entergy Louisiana territories, we don't have specific estimated restoration times just yet. We had a lot more damage in those areas, so we're finishing up our damage assessment and should have those times out by end of day, and we will communicate that by customers. They'll see it on the outage map, but we'll also be sending them text messages or calls if they're signed up for it to let them know when to expect their power to be fully restored.
That line of hope is so important in situations like that when you're waiting desperately to get the power back on. I know that Entergy has been spending hundreds of millions of dollars to try and harden the grid. Has any of that helped in this situation, or are we not there yet?
So we haven't gone through to look to see how our new, more resilient poles that were installed have performed for this particular event, but we do know how they perform generally. After Hurricane Ida, Grand Isle was devastated and lost almost all of their infrastructure. So when we went back and rebuilt our system down there, we rebuilt it to our new resilient standards, and they had no issues. I'm not even sure they lost power during Hurricane Francine, and they've been green, all day today since I've been checking. So we know that harder, more resilient system works. And unfortunately, we're seeing more severe, more frequent storms in our area. So it's really important that we finish both Entergy New Orleans Resilience Plan and Entergy Louisiana's. And we're working, both companies are working really hard to get that done.
Last question for you. I'm hearing some more rain here in the French Quarter. Is that continued rainfall going to impede your efforts to get that power back on in all those places? And are you expecting more power outages throughout the day?
So generally, so long as we keep our winds low, we cannot put a bucket truck up in winds over 30 miles an hour. So long as the winds stay below, we'll put our trucks up and continue to restore power. It's not a successful restoration unless it's a safe one. I'm not sure we're anticipating any higher winds. So as of right now, we are still out in the field and getting our customers restored.
Okay, Nika Scott, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that update.
Thank you.
Terrebonne Parish, one of the areas experiencing power outages right now. This is video. Check it out in just a second. It's from this morning from Houma, and a viewer there, Rachel Bro. Look at this. Look at this. Just, rain coming in, high winds there. Houma was hit pretty significantly by these storms this morning. It was a rough time there. Lots of damage reported from that part of Louisiana. And Alyssa Curtis, she's going to join us live in just a second on Afton Street in Houma. Again, Alyssa, we've heard lots of reports of damage. You've been reporting on it throughout the morning for us. And what's the situation there now that we're at the noon hour?
Yeah, homes on houses and roofs torn off is really the two big things here in this community and in other neighborhoods we've been in too. It's interesting to see this kind of path that these tornadoes have taken. Take a look at this. The owner of this home here tells me that a tree fell on the shed. Thankfully, everyone was okay. No one was in the shed in the back, but there is significant damage. And then a smaller tree fell on the front of her home. Not a good situation here, but thankfully this tree here is probably going to be easier to get off of the home than the shed here. And then I'm going to have photographer Caleb kind of walk with me here. A lot of damage back here. These are big, heavy trees that were either snapped at kind of a breaking point or were just completely uprooted. Take a look at this house behind the home with the damaged shed now. This homeowner here tells me that this tree is so enormous that it spans from the front of her house to the back of her house. So her home is just completely crushed. So she needs, essentially a brand new home. They need to repair this. Not only that, but she says there's a lot of damage inside her home because there's also some flooding here. So this is just a mangled mess. On top of that, we're dealing with downed power lines. There's like sheet metal wrapped in some of these power lines as well. Caleb, can you do me a favor and turn to this house here? Now, this is what we're seeing not only here, but also over on the Evelyn Avenue. A lot of roofs just completely torn off with that wind. I spoke with this homeowner earlier, asked him, talk to me, walk me through the early hours of the morning. This happened around 2:45 this morning. He says he heard that loud tornado sound, the rushing and whooping of the wind. All of a sudden his roof flew off, and all of a sudden his kitchen was outside. He looked up and he saw the sky, and immediately, though, a lot of these residents have kind of jumped into starting to take the debris out, bring them to the curbs. We've seen some neighbors come in and help. Actually, someone told us, "We're watching you on TV. I realized that my friend's home was damaged, and I came over to try and help and see if she's okay." So the good thing in all of this is there is a silver lining, is that we've seen so much community today. Although people are devastated, their homes are ruined, people are safe, which is very important, and community has shown up for each other. Earlier, I was in Bayou Cane. Those streets over there are flooded. A lot of neighbors and residents there are elderly. I'm told that they've been living there for decades at this point. And they're checking on each other, which is good. They're making sure they have supplies, and making sure if they need water or anything, if they need to get out of their house. So we've seen a lot of community today. This is going to take a long time to rebuild, though. So they're starting to chip at it, but it's going to take a while. So we're waiting for I'm hearing we're waiting for some insurance to come back with assessments and things like that, for landlords to come in and really assess the damage and see what those timelines are like. Just to paint one more picture of how severe and strong this tornado was, at this house over here, they have a truck in the front yard, and the homeowner told me that the truck was on one side of the lot, and the tornado pushed it and crushed it into a pole and a tree. That truck is completely damaged now. So very strong storms that came through and kind of hugged some of these neighborhoods and some of these houses, and you can truly just see the path that the storm took. So again, thankfully everyone is safe, but a long road to recovery. Katie?
Yeah, Alyssa, unfortunately, people have done this way too many times, especially down in Houma after Hurricane Ida. The good news is they know what to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I spoke with someone over on Evelyn Avenue, and she, said that exact sentiment. She said they had a similar tornado back in 2000 that did some similar damage. And then they had Hurricane Ida. She was very frustrated, and she said, "I just finished some repairs on my house from Hurricane Ida. The front window and the front panel of her house was completely torn off. Her home was flooded." So she is frustrated that now they have to go through. Thankfully, her home doesn't have as much damage as Hurricane Ida, and thankfully some of her neighbors. But she said, we have to go through this again, but we live in Southeast Louisiana. We know what this is like. We've done this time and time again, and we're resilient. We're going to do it again if we have to. We love this community, and this is just what we do as residents.
Yeah, and they all band together, and it really is quite something to see, Thanks so much for that reporting, Alyssa. We'll check back in with you in a little while. But the rain is starting to come down again here in the French Quarter, and apparently it's going to be raining on the North Shore some more as well. So we want to get the latest on the forecast, especially as those rivers are swollen. Let's get to Alexa Trishler.
Yeah.
What's happening out there right now?
The rain is starting to redevelop across Southeast Louisiana and South Mississippi. In South Mississippi, we have tremendous rain still falling across Hancock County and Bay St. Louis to Diamond Head. Still a severe thunderstorm warning here. Several flashes of lightning is an understatement. Over 1,000 strikes of lightning from this huge thunderstorm that's moving eastward. So gusty winds, lightning, and heavy rain for Hancock County. There's still a flash flood emergency in Picayune. You're going to have still flooding concerns. Even though the rain has quieted down in Picayune, you're going to have ongoing flooding concerns for the next couple of hours. We have heavy rain across Pearl River County as well. Some heavier showers have shifted east of Slidell, but we have some heavy rain happening along Highway 90 in New Orleans East and along the Twin Span. A closer look at the city of New Orleans, the metro area. Now we have some heavy rain falling in the French Quarter. Heavy rain falling in Chalmette, also on the West Bank too, about to move into Belle Chase. So we have some heavy soaking rain and thunderstorms that are building and redeveloping on the South Shore. Heavier rain down the bayou towards Jean Lafitte as well. A wider look at the North Shore. We have some steady rain for Kentwood and into northern Washington Parish right now, but we have some heavy showers in southern Tangipahoa Parish towards Hammond. So we still have more storms that will be scattered and heavy throughout the afternoon hours. And we already picked up several inches of rain on the South Shore, anywhere from from 4 to 8 inches of rain over the last 24 hours for parts of the river and bayou parishes and the metro area, Jefferson Parish and Orleans Parish into St. Charles. North Shore, St. Tammany Parish saw upwards of 5 to 9 inches of rain. South Mississippi has seen an incredible amount of rain, over 10, maybe up to 12 plus inches of rain over the last 24 hours. This is radar estimated. We have ongoing flooding concerns across a large portion of the area. Also, we have extensive storm damage from either straight line winds or likely tornadoes. The National Weather Service is going to survey that damage as the weather quiets down later today and tomorrow, too. We're going to have updates on all of the wind and likely tornadoes that touched down earlier today. And of course, our other concern is not only the flooding, but our river flooding. Rivers are going to continue to rise across the North Shore and Mississippi through the next several days. So we had Arthur move inland way to our west. Now it's a remnant system to our north. It's going to keep on moving to the northeast and to the east of us. It doesn't even really matter because we saw all the impacts well away from the center of Arthur that just slammed us overnight. And it's still windy right now as this system pulls away from us. We've got stronger gusts up to 40 miles per hour in Belle Chase. Of course, our thunderstorms are producing stronger wind gusts up to maybe 50 to 60 plus miles per hour in South Mississippi right now towards Bay St. Louis, but we're going to stay windy through the rest of today. We're also going to have scattered storms with heavy downpours, and there's going to be some more flooding concerns throughout the next couple of hours because the grounds are so saturated. It's not going to take much to trigger some street flooding and flash flooding again. So we'll have scattered storms throughout the middle of the day today. This evening, we'll get a good break in the rain. There could be a few passing storms this evening, but we should quiet down tonight. I will say tomorrow we're going to see some leftover tropical moisture and more scattered storms redeveloping tomorrow throughout the afternoon and into the evening. Still not going to be a problem for everyone, but because the ground is so saturated, flooding is going to be a concern, I would say, again tomorrow, especially if we get some heavy tropical downpours with some leftover moisture. We'll continue to see a few more scattered storms into Saturday, but less rain is expected for the weekend, especially Sunday. Sunday is going to be mostly dry, but I think Saturday will still keep some scattered storms in the mix and some heavier showers. Still going to talk about a low risk of flooding even again on Saturday because of the grounds being so saturated. Here are the rivers across the North Shore and South Mississippi. We are in a major flood stage for the West and East Houma Creek, major flood stage in the Tchefuncte River and the Tangipahoa River, moderate flood stage for the Bogafilaya, and we're in a minor flood stage for the Bogachita. We're also in a moderate flood stage not only for the Bogafilaya, but also for the Pearl River. And these rivers are going to continue to rise, actually to near record levels. The East Houma Creek is expected to reach 22.5 feet by tomorrow. And this weekend, the previous record is 21 feet. The West Houma Creek also expected to reach 24 feet, major flood stage by tomorrow. Tchefuncte and Tangipahoa also expected to get to 21 feet by tomorrow and this weekend. It's going to take a couple days for these rivers to not only to respond to the rain we're continuing to get, then we're going to get the runoff, and then it's going to take us several days for it to return back to normal. So our water levels on the North Shore and South Mississippi are going to be running extremely high. You're not going to be able to get back to those spots if it's flooding for a while. I know a lot of people either live along those bodies of water or camp along those bodies of water. It's going to be a problem ongoing for the next several days. We'll keep a weather impact alert for today and tomorrow because the flooding risk is still there. We're going to have scattered heavy rain and storms off and on throughout the next couple of hours. We'll get a break tonight, but we'll see a few more storms tomorrow. And then as we get into the weekend, scattered storms again Saturday, but Sunday for Father's Day into next week, we finally dry up. We'll have much lower rain chances, but temperatures are going to be heating up. We'll be back in the low to mid 90s. It's going to be muggy and humid. Feels like temperatures getting back into the triple digits going into next week.
Yeah, but that drier weather is really going to help people with that tornado damage, getting out there to fix their, start their repairs and such. So that's great. Thank you so much, Alexa. Look at this. This is video of the damage after that tornado went through UNO, or LSUNO, as we're now calling it. You can see there some parts of the building ripped off the side of it there, trees down. We know that a tornado was confirmed in that area. At least I believe a tornado was confirmed in that area. But if not, there were some severe winds out there that caused some significant damage. So Arthur leaving his mark on southeast Louisiana for sure, even though the storm, technically the center of it, didn't even come anywhere near this area. So it's a unique situation and one that really makes you wonder what can happen when Mother Nature decides to just whip something up like this.